Oh, you all think you got us with this one. Oh, I know what's up. This is still part of Viewer Request Week here on the Post Shriek Out Reaction. And we had so many requests for Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. I only wrote down 2 names. Once it gets to 2 names, I'm like, yeah, okay, we're probably going to do it. But the first 2 that I saw were completely lost on my list. There are Carlos Puente and Andrew Eaton. Those were the first 2 names, but then I saw multiple others after that. So yes, we're going to do Sleepwalkers. And here's the thing. I bet some of you thought like, oh, he doesn't know what he's expecting. Yeah, oh, he's going to be surprised. This is one of the most infamously bad horror films out there. I know about Sleepwalkers. I've never seen it, but I know about. But I'm okay watching a bad horror film. But man, this is like unique bad horror film because this is Stephen King as most coked up. This has been called by many people to be Stephen King's worst film, and I'd like to remind people, Stephen King has a movie where aliens take people over by going up their butts. That's an actual thing. I've seen The Langoliers, and this is still said to be worse. And I actually really like bad, horrible, cheesy horror films. I really like a stupid, bad horror film. They're fun to laugh at. And I know there's a lot of people out there who have probably heard of this film. You probably see, I know Nostalgia Critic, back when he wasn't super problematic. He ended up doing a review of it. That's where a lot of people on the internet ended up finding out about this thing. And I know there's a lot of people who have heard about this film, and you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, this would be good to, sit down and watch and laugh at. This is a very bad, funny horror film. If that's what you're going into this for, if you're going into this thing to go I can't wait to sit and point and laugh at this movie, don't. There are way better bad horror films to point and laugh at because the first hour of this hour-and-a-half long film is so boring with nothing happening in it. This is one of those films where I kept just trailing off, and when I eventually just came back around, I was like, oh my God, nothing has happened. It's like one of those things where you fall asleep and you then wake up and you're like, oh my God, how long was I out? And it was 5 seconds.
And it's not only does nothing happen, but whenever something happens, it's so predictable.
Yeah, there's nothing really interesting at all that happens in the first hour of this film. There's maybe 3 scenes in the first hour of this film that are kind of worth pointing out. Because what this film is about is that it opens up with the definition of sleepwalker, and it says someone that can transform is connected to cats might be the basis for the myth of vampires. Which, here's the thing. What they're describing are skinwalkers. That's not sleepwalkers.
Yeah, sleepwalking is when someone actually walks in their sleep. It's a medical condition.
That's a medical condition. What you're thinking of, creatures that walk on 2 feet and actually humans that actually turn into the animals and are connected to early myths, that's called skinwalkers. They don't even have the correct name for the thing that they're parodying in here. But
I'm wondering if it's a copyright issue with Skinwalker Ranch or anything.
No, because Skinwalker Ranch, first off, that's not the official name of the thing. Skinwalker Ranch was named that because they had seen skinwalkers there and so many other weird paranormal things, so that everybody started calling it Skinwalker Ranch. It's like saying that Bigfoot is copywritten. This is like saying Chupacabra is copywritten. It's no, it's not that. They were just wrong on this. And by the way, it starts off with just the definition, sleepwalker, and then just sits and holds on, and then whoosh, just slash marks across the screen. Title card comes up. Then we get a bit of story. Then title card comes up again later on. But the second time that the title card comes up, it looks like, I don't know if anybody out there who's younger than me will get this reference, but it looks like one of those Hercules or Xena or any of those old cheesy Sam Raimi used to produce some TV shows back in the 90s. It really did feel like it was about to go, Stephen King's Beastmaster will return after these commercial breaks. It felt like something like that. It's got such a cheap-ass production value, but not to the special effects, which, yeah, they're cheap too. But I'm talking about to the stuff that really there's no excuse aside from lack of skill to have production value this cheap. Because title card. That's not. How do you not have money in the budget for title card? How do you not have money for graphic designer who knows how to insert title card? How did you lose the money on that? But this thing, it opens up with this weird mother-son couple in there, which I looked it up. The mom in real life is only 15 years older than the son. But she kind of looks young for her age, and he definitely looks old for his age, because he was like 20 when he did this.
Yeah, like, I was confused at the relationship at first. Like, is he supposed to be his mom? Because he looks young enough, like, to be a sister.
Yeah, it looks like brother and sister in here.
Then they started making out. It's like,
yeah, they start making out in here, but that's like a thing that they never come back to. Like, they start making out at one point, so like, okay, so there's some weird, creepy, incestuous relationship going on here. That never comes up again.
No.
At all. And that is so a theme of many elements in here. So many times the Sleepwalkers in here, they gain powers that you have not seen in the rest of the film, and then they never come back in the rest of the film.
Like, I know, like, in the beginning it says, oh, they can shapeshift. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay, so you're expecting that to come up.
But then they have powers that have nothing to do...
They can make their car invisible or make their car change shape and color. And then they can, like, suck souls out, or, like, you know, and souls look like pixie sticks just coming out someone's mouth. Yeah, they have so many just weird, different powers in here that just come up whenever they need them to come up in here. Like, they've got telekinesis that pops up out of nowhere towards the end of this thing. But again, we're just kind of, like, just jumping all over the place. In the first hour of this thing, you get the weird, creepy, incestuous moment in there. It's like, ew, gross. And then it never comes back around. So it's like, don't give me that and then not have it be a plot point. Like, if you're gonna give me something that wrong, you need to have a reason for it being in your movie. And there's no goddamn reason for it being in this movie. But they keep looking out at these cats and just being like, oh, they're getting close. And they have traps set up for the cats.
Like
to
bear
them.
traps.
Yeah, they have tiny bear traps for cats. Which that eventually comes back around, but I'm gonna have myself. Sorry, this is such a dumb movie. But the son is going to high school, even though, again, he's like 20 when he's making this film, which is not, it's not unusual for a 20-year-old to play a high school student, but he does not he looks 25 at least in this film. So he's going there and he's basically trying to like woo over this one student so he can bring her back and then the mom and him can consume, which I don't know why the mom can't go out and just catch anyone. It's very weird. Also, there comes a moment later on in which they are desperate to get this girl, to feed on her, and they're murdering multiple people in their path to get this girl, and I kept stopping to go, if you just really need to feed, this is like going through the grocery store and it's like, I must get to the chicken nuggets. And then like you just start slapping all the free sample people out of your way. It's like, no, must get to the chicken nuggets. Here's a sample of something. Get that out of my face. Just, you're that hungry, yet you're not willing to eat anything else in front of you.
Well, I kind of had this theory that like the reason why they chose this high school girl is because like, it's part of their ritual to, like, feed off, like, innocent young girls.
And there is, like, a mention of how innocent she is. They do, like, mention that. But it's a town. It's not, like, a condo where she's the only girl that lives in the condominium of that age. If you are having trouble getting a hold of her, you go to a fucking school. There's a ton of other students there that you can pick up. There's probably a second school in this town somewhere. Yeah, it is so freaking stupid that they are that obsessed with, no, we must get this one girl, but we keep failing over and over again, and I'm so hungry,
It's like, geez, no
something fucking else.
Geez, no wonder there's only 2 of you left. You're all stupid.
So stupid. But yeah, they're so obsessed with her, and then, the teacher, played by the guy from Beetlejuice, the fashion designer guy from Beetlejuice, there comes a moment in which he goes up to the Sleepwalker's car and he's making a speech about, oh yes, I know you've been lying about this thing. And he just rips the guy's arm up and, no! Oh yeah, you should keep your hand to yourself. And throws it back and is like, oh, you thought that was going to be way more clever than it actually was. Then he chases him out into the woods and starts eating him there in the woods. And the camera shot of him eating him, I'm getting dizzy just remembering it.
It's just like constantly spinning.
It is swirling and swirling and swirling as it moves in closer to them there in the mill. And oh my God, I had to stop looking at it. I was getting vertigo from that thing. I seriously thought I was going to be sick at that. And it just makes you look at it and go, who the fuck thought that was a good shot? Who? Like, I mean, I'm not saying everybody's going to get dizzy looking at it, but you can't even make out what is happening in there. You're spinning the camera so fast. Yeah, this thing is so poorly shot. Our own little protective spirit animal there. Yes, you would scare off any sleepwalker because you would go up and jump on them the same way you do everybody. So let's see. That's pretty much like. Oh no, there's one other thing. There's a cop that gets introduced, and when we first see him, he's almost introduced in a way like we've already known him. Because there were cops at the beginning of this thing, one of whom really looked like Mark Hamill. I had to stop and check that. But yeah, there's cops in the beginning of this who are investigating a house with just a bunch of dead cats hanging all over the place. And then when this guy comes around, they introduce him in a way that just makes me go, was he one of the cops there? Because
no.
For an important character, you are not getting the introduction you deserve. And he's got a cat, his own personal cat that he is bringing along in the cop car with him. And he starts chasing down the sleepwalker. I really want to call him Skinwalker. But he keeps chasing him down.
I guess you can call him by his name, Charles.
Charles. Oh my God. By Charles Winsington III.
Well, he is very charming.
Yes. But he starts chasing him down, and it's just a car chase sequence in here, just to be a car chase sequence. Pulls up next to him, and then the cat comes up, meow, and then the guy freaks out, no, and his face does like a weird claymation morph effect, just into a cat's face, and the cop just goes, holy shit! And this cop is so the stereotypical black guy in a Stephen King film. Because it is so just Stephen King coming in there going, I know how black people talk. It's like, oh no, I'm not going to enjoy any part of this. There's like a moment in which he's like driving and he just starts singing a song, but it's like a song that's nothing but swear words. And I mean, literally, like the majority of the words in the song are swear words, and I just kept going, this is an awful song. What is this supposed to be making me do for this character? Who would sing this song? Who? What? Yeah, this character, oh man, he is, I'm not gonna say he's one of the worst characters in a Stephen King thing, but he's one of the worst characters to get a lot of screen time in a Stephen King thing. And he dies instantly too.
Yeah,
we should point that out.
Yeah,
we all knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We all knew that was coming. He dies in here.
The cat doesn't die though.
Yeah, the cat jumps all over Charles. And when a cat gets on one of the sleepwalkers, they start smoking, and apparently cats can just shred them apart just from like skin contact. And he's like, no! He's like with this puppet on his face the entire time. And we haven't even mentioned like the girl that he's really trying to hunt down. And a reason why we haven't really mentioned her is because it didn't hit me until the third act of this film. The sleepwalkers are the main characters of this movie. And that's so weird. Hi, airplane outside. Well, let that thing pass by. Anyway, but it hit me as we were watching this, about half an hour left in the film, suddenly I realized, oh my God, the sleepwalkers are the main characters, but they're terrible, terrible people. But we're not spending time with anyone else unless it's time to show them talking about the sleepwalkers. That's it. You know, we see the cops like have one or two scenes by themselves talking about the sleepwalkers. We see the girl who should be the main character of this thing. She gets like one or two scenes by herself, but the sleepwalkers have just so much screen time. So the protagonists are the bad guys in here, which, don't get me wrong, is a thing you can do. There have been successful horror films that have done it, but you have to make us actually like these idiots. And man, we do not like these. This is one of those films where the less we knew about them, the less time we spent with them, it would only help.
Yeah, like that was honestly like my issue with this movie. It's like, wow, we're getting to know these creatures really fast. I mean, doesn't that kind of like kill the suspense?
Kills all the suspense, kills all the mystery. The only mystery that in here comes from us not knowing what they can do because the film makes new shit up whenever it wants. They have the ability to make their car go invisible.
They can turn themselves invisible. It's like,
yeah, but again, everything that I just described to you, that's like the first hour of this fucking film, and there's just boring nothing everywhere else. It takes half an hour before any, like, monstrous stuff starts happening in here. So you're just following this weird incestuous couple in there the entire time. It's like, ew, ew, I don't want to do this. Again, I have to point out, it's a mother and son who make out, and they're our protagonist. They're the people we're following in this movie. So yeah, I kept watching this thing going, this is not a fun, bad horror film. Like, you want a fun, bad horror film, watch Shakma, watch something like that. This film, it's so boring. You can't, like, get any enthusiasm. You can't get any hilarity out of it. You can't get any anger out of this thing just because it is so fucking dull. But then the last half hour comes in here. The last half hour is a genius piece of, it is a genius example of bad cinema. It is an amazing example of crappy horror films that are good to laugh at. The last half hour of this thing goes nuts. The son is beat up from the cats, so he's lying there, he's dying, so the mother is like, all right, guess I gotta go out and catch this girl. He's like, why the fuck were you staying indoors the entire time if you could just leave and get food whenever you wanted? Lazy shit, all right. So she goes out and goes over to her house and just like bitch slaps the father around, shoves glass in his face. The mom, she throws her out the window, and none of this is choreographed well.
And she stabs the police officer.
There's a cop. Hold on.
Yes.
There's a cop there at their house after the girl was attacked. And the cop, we have not seen him throughout the rest of the film, or if we have, he's been so like bland and generic, we've forgotten him. By the way, one of the cops in here is played by Ron Perlman. But the cop who was at the house, he is just there like eating, and he is, man, every now and again you gotta remind yourself, oh yeah, Stephen King really hates cops. He really hates authority figures, because this is the most like hillbilly bumpkin, just down home, corrupt, not even corrupt, just lazy, incompetent cop that you see just, yuck, 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 I'm gonna just eat my corn here. It's like, shouldn't you be doing something about like the girl who's like severely disturbed? Like, shouldn't you be asking some questions about this stuff? And yeah, he's just such like, you look at him and you know he's an incompetent cop. He gets on the phone, tries to call the police station. She stabs him with a corn on the cob. And the moment that happened, all I could say was she stabbed him in the back. She should have stabbed him through the back of the head so the corn cob like came out of his mouth. Mm-hmm. Just for the visuals of like, oh, the corn is coming back out. Oh, yeah. Like something in there. She just stabs this dude with a corn of cob, and she stabs him like right in the back. Yeah. But it's like, that wouldn't pierce anything but your spine. Like, you wouldn't survive that. I mean, you wouldn't like, you'd be messed up the rest of your life, but.
Like, I'm assuming that these sleepwalkers also have super strength.
Well,
which
obviously,
is like
you can't normally stab someone with corn.
Yes, but considering how like silly and ridiculous this movie is, you can never know. I
guess she got far enough to pierce the heart. I guess the corn cob grew 3 times its size when it entered his body. Yeah, so she kills the guy with a corn cob, and then she goes out there, and again, like, it's nothing but her just rampaging through cops the entire time. And it's in this most slapsticky way that also you don't know if this is supposed to be serious. Like, she takes 2 cops from behind who again are just being like, oh, yuck, kind of cops, grabs them, bam, just smashes their heads together, Three Stooges styles until they're dead. And you don't know if that's supposed to be a joke because it's so stupid it should be, but this film doesn't seem to know that. But then comes the scene that causes both to burst out laughing. She's got the girl, and she picks up a gun from a cop and just shoots a cop car, and it immediately explodes. Like, there is no blam. Massive explosion. Does it to another cop car. 1 bullet. Explosion. And then she takes him back to her house, and then it cuts to like 50 cats running down the street in slow motion.
All led by Clovis, the cop's cat.
Clovis. And it's supposed to be like the Avengers in New York, like just there, that big like circle span around, like this is the big like the heroes are coming in to save it. And it's just 50 fucking cats in slow motion just
running. I mean, if you like cats, you'll like that scene.
Well, I mean, even if you're a fan of cats, you're going to end up being like, yeah, fuck yeah, Clovis. She gets him back there, and then like the one cop left in town is trying to open up the door to get inside, can't get inside. Then Clovis runs up the tree, and I looked away for a second, and I heard the window break, and I turned and looked, and Clovis was jumping inside, and you were laughing hysterically, and I was like, it's not that funny. And he goes, no, rewind. I rewind. Clovis doesn't jump through the window like I had assumed. Clovis like punches a paw through the window to open it up for him. I mean, you don't see like a fake cat paw go in there. What you see is the glass just explode as Clovis's head comes inside. Cut to Clovis jumping down from there. So the only thing you can assume is that Clovis like body rammed this window to break it open.
I mean, I understand they didn't want the cat to get hurt with the broken glass, but
like, cut out. Like I said, I looked away for 2 seconds at that moment during that shot, and when I turned back, Clovis was jumping down with broken glass there on the ground. Just have that shot! Just have the shot of glass going down onto the ground as Clovis jumps down onto it. Obviously not real glass, so you don't end up hurting the cat, but yeah, just do that. The audience knows, oh, he jumped through the window. Don't have exploding glass. Clovis head pop out. What? That is just the dumbest way to shoot that shot. So this thing ends with like Clovis jumping on, like, all the cats then jump on, which, by the way, the cats just sit there and watch this lady, like, tearing through the car to get to this girl after she tries to get out. She, like, murders the cop, which she murders him by stabbing him on a white picket fence. I have seen so many horror films where people die by being impaled on white picket fences. Apparently, white picket fences are way stronger than I always assumed. But the cats, there's 50 cats in her front yard watching her like torture this woman and murdering this man. And only after he's murdered do they then all go, all right, get him, boys. And then they all just jump on
like, they
her.
need to wait for the cue from Clovis.
Yeah.
It's like, cats don't do shit until it's like, oh, Deus Ex Machina, whoop.
No, it's not Deus Ex Machina, it's laziness. The answer's been there the entire time of the cat's attack.
But
They
you
just
know,
didn't want to do it. They just didn't want to do it until someone died.
Typical cats.
Yeah. Okay, so for all the people out there who are like, oh, this is a great, stupid horror film, the end of it is, the last half hour is a great, stupid, like, sit around, laugh with your friends horror film. But I don't know if it's worth that first hour to get to. That first hour is rough. Like, I know I was coming in here, like, making a big deal about, but I was making a big deal about how I can't make a big deal about. Like, just my sheer disappointment at, are you fucking kidding me with, like, how nothing this is? Like, I can't feel nothing about nothing. Yeah, so, the movie, I mean, I guess you could skip ahead, but if you're gonna rent this thing, why spend the money and not at least watch the whole thing? Like, yeah, it's one of those, plus, I don't even know if the impact at the end is, like, makes enough sense without the build-up to it.
Yeah.
But, again, that implies that anything in this movie makes sense. So, yeah, I can't recommend this as a bad horror film. If you enjoy bad horror films, I can't recommend this. It's too stupid. But not in the fun, stupid way. Just in the incompetent, unenjoyable way for an hour. An hour of I don't want to watch this is not worth the half hour of, oh, okay, it's not bad, okay. Yeah, but if you already, like, have a friend who owns this thing, you all got some beers and some pizza on Halloween night, and you just want to watch something stupid, you know what, if you got some friends over, it's worth it. You can that is an acceptable way to watch this. But yeah, that's it for day 5 of the viewer requests on the post-Shriek Out reaction. We have 2 more. I want to thank everybody who suggested viewer requests this year. We actually got, I mentioned earlier last week that we haven't been getting as many requests as we did last year, and then like a ton came in. So yeah, thank you guys for that. Goddamn. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this movie. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys for the request, and if you didn't get your request in, then better luck next year. And I will just say, a lot of the people out there who made requests, I've got the next 3 years of Thorgiweens planned out. Like, not the videos, but the themes. I've got, like, you know, the rotating skits and the theme of what we're going to end up watching. I've got those planned out for the next 3 years. And a lot of the requests that you guys made, I went, those would really be better in future themes. So it's not like I'm purposely avoiding some of you guys. It's more of that with some of you guys, I was just like, that would really fit with what I want to do next year. So sorry to anybody out there who didn't get to, but, you know, we can only do some of these. But anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning in, and happy Halloween.
Bye.